Did you know that there are 5 disadvantages of selling your house in Tucson to an online buyer? Hi, my name is Karl Krensel. I'm the broker in charge over here at Karl Buys Houses, as well as an investor here. And many of the iBuyers coming on the scene today are getting attention due to their brand familiarity and promise of convenience. However, working with iBuyers almost ensures you're not going to get a fair price. Over here at Karl Buys Houses, I can buy your house just as quickly as an iBuyer could. And I'm a local buyer and investor, not a massive corporate machine that's solely after the profits. For homeowners who need to sell their homes fast and want to utilize the convenience of a direct sale, then I might just be the solution you need. Let's talk about these disadvantages. First, with an iBuyer that's online, number one, you're just a number. You know, when you're working with an online iBuyer, the process itself is not personalized. Okay, the iBuyer itself, they don't know the neighborhood or the market the way that a local home buyer would. They just throw out a number and then move on to the next property, right? You won't be able to negotiate or explain why your property is so great. Now, they rely on what it says about your house on paper, and then, well, they go from there. You know, an iBuyer isn't there to help you reach your goals. Okay, they're there to buy your property as inexpensively as possible in order to turn a profit for the corporation. When you work with a company like Karl Buys Houses, you have a team by your side that's ready to help you. You know, we listen to your goals, and then we listen to what you need from the sale. My job is to help you achieve your goals as painlessly as possible while helping you with the transition in any way that I can. The biggest disadvantage with an iBuyer that's online. Next, your offer is going to be pretty low, right? Working with an iBuyer does not typically provide the profits that you think. You know, they tend to think, people tend to think that the online buyer is going to be a fast, easy offer just like anybody else. But in reality, they tend to make generalized blanket offers without much thought regarding the details of the property. The draw of working with an iBuyer is that the process is fast and that it's convenient. You know, most iBuyers are trying to acquire your property for as little as possible, but they do it pretty quickly, okay? And if you want to sell your house fast, but you still want your offer that is reasonable, well, then it's best to work with a local property buyer as opposed to a big corporation. Working with a company like Karl Buys Houses will help you sell quickly to someone who actually cares about getting you out of your difficult situation. The next big disadvantage. It can be super expensive, right? Just like working with a real estate agent, working with an iBuyer can cost you more money, okay? Selling your home to an iBuyer can cost you well over 12% of the sales price in just fees alone. I mean, goodness, there are often other hidden fees to contend with as well as cancellation charges. You know, because you're at the mercy of the iBuyer when it comes to scheduling, many homeowners find that they have to actually rent a place until they're able to close on a new home. That doesn't make any sense at all. This means even more money out the door spent on fees and deposits. When you're working with an iBuyer like Karl Buys Houses, when you're working with a company like Karl Buys Houses like me, I allow you to stay in the property as long as you need after the close of sale. It's not a big deal. Next, it can take a while. That's the next biggest problem, right? Just like working with an agent, working with an iBuyer can subjugate you to inspections, appraisals, and possibly even the need to make repairs. Sure, you're going to get an offer much more quickly, but you're still going to have to wait while the iBuyer does their homework on the property. Now, with a direct sale to Karl Buys Houses, you won't have to jump through all the hoops that sellers typically have to jump through. Instead, you're just going to be able to get an offer, collect your cash, and close in a matter of days. Next, iBuyers are not buying everywhere. Now, while iBuyers might seem to be the next big thing, their services, honestly, they're quite limited. They typically only purchase homes in select cities, and even then, properties have to meet specific criteria. They usually need to be in a certain size, without repairs or upgrades needed. They need to be a certain age. It can't be very, very old, right? If your home doesn't meet the location, the condition, or the size criteria, well, the buyer is going to try and buy your property, but it's going to be even lower than what they thought they could make it at, right? While working with an iBuyer may seem to be a great solution for you if you're trying to sell your house fast here in Tucson, there are a couple things you need to be aware of. Just be sure to run the numbers for yourself so you can make sure you make the right decision for you and your family when you're trying to decide about what to do about selling your property. A listing, to be quite honest with you, is probably going to net you a lot more money in the long run, but obviously it's going to take a lot longer than a direct sale. An iBuyer, well, they have the funds to buy and the big name to attract more people. Okay, but a local investor like myself, like Karl Buys Houses, well, I can provide you the personalized attention that a local real estate agent and broker could, but I can still offer you the convenience of an iBuyer. Let me help you learn about the perks and disadvantages of selling your house to an online buyer here in Tucson. Reach out to me today by calling me directly at 520-403-6227 or text me. It's my personal cell. You can call me anytime. 520-403-6227 or click in the form below. Tell me about your property and let me see what I can do to help you. Thanks for listening. And as always, I hope you have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.